On Ziggy. Oh, that's racist. Ooh. Didn't age well. Seem to be alone this time. Doesn't bode well for it.
Oh, Commander Crane, thank God I found you in time. I had to be quick about this. I was sent from the future by yourself to give you a message.
Oh, okay, great. Finally. Okay, what did I say? What did I tell myself?
I was sent so that you could stop the cartoon apocalypse from happening. There's a man named David Zaslav. You don't know him, but in the year 2024, Disney and Warner Brothers will merge together, and he will have control of it. And from there, he will destroy all of cartoons. And you're the only person who can stop him.
This is what I've been training for.
Oh, thank God. Look, things are bad. It started, they just removed the streaming services.
Okay. Yeah.
But as his power grew, they sent people into homes and they were destroying our DVDs and our torrents. And
so
took my parents from me.
So so David Zaslav has started a fascist regime in the year of 20 whatever, and it's up to me to start the revolution.
You're the leader of the rebellion, but things aren't going very well right now. Just last week we sent some men. We thought we were making a deal that we were going to get some old VHS copies of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they're all dead. He killed them.
The turtles or the men?
Both.
Shit. Okay.
In my future, I only know the Transformers from Michael Bay movies.
No, that can't be possible. Okay. Clearly, the past version of me, when I started this revolution, I was too sober. I have all of this behind me. So
Look,
I'm going to start drinking.
You don't talk very much about the past to us, but you sent me here to let you know that whatever it takes, you have to stop David Zaslav.
Okay.
It's not... Look, Europe, it's on the brink of failing. Japan's been... We haven't heard from them in years. Some people say it's still an utopia of animation. Others suspect that they've been wiped off the map. We don't know, but you have to stop him.
Okay, so okay. I need more information though. How did he do this? Is this like a corporate merger? Did he use like killbots?
It's unclear. It was originally recorded in animation. He wiped it out. All we know is it started out as business, and somehow he got control of the world from there.
All right. Well, either way, I guess I gotta stop him. I'm just gonna challenge him to the one great kind of duel I possibly could, which is naked Turkish mud wrestling. So,
what?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
General Crane, you told me your future self told me that your past self would understand and would do whatever it takes.
Oh, it gets really slippery in there. So like it gets like dirty.
No. You made it clear. What murder? That's what you wanted. Murder.
Oh, future me wanted me to murder David Zaslav?
Yes.
Well, that's murder. I can't do that. It's laws.
But my future, my family, my friends, he's taking them all from us.
Well, sorry, man. Like laws are laws. Like okay. How dire is it? Like, on a scale of like 1 to 10, like with 10 being like the end of the world scenario, and 1 being like, it's actually all kind of cool, just maybe blowing it out of proportion. Where are you sitting at?
It's an 11. The only things that we have to watch are reality TV.
That's
there
pretty bad.
There are 14 shows on a day starring Paris Hilton.
She's still alive?
Yeah.
Ooh. Figured, all right, well, hey, Paris Hilton probably pickled herself, so hey, I guess, that kind of lifestyle, as it is. Yeah. Okay. So you need me to stop David Zaslav, and I guess naked Turkish mud wrestling isn't going to do it, huh?
No? I don't. That doesn't exist in my future, so I assume not.
Oh,
but
I bet it does.
look, they're here. I have to go.
Oh,
Don't
no.
tell anybody I was here, or else it could mess up the timeline even worse. But just whatever you do, stop David Zaslav.
I will, Hassan.
Thank
You go,
Commander.
comrade.
Farewell.
Fight the good fight. Don't look like a real porny. Oof.
You are correct.
Oh, Beetle Bailey. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All
Sorry,
right,
I'm
Hassan.
late to start. Just had to go use the bathroom, but should be good to go now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I gotta go. Okay, we gotta make this quick. I gotta go do something after this.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Let me. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Everything Is Fine, Nothing Is Ruined podcast.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Hassan. Joining me is Tristan.
That's me.
And this week, we're here to give you some of our predictions about how this upcoming year is going to pan out. So, Tristan, why don't you start us off? What's your first prediction of
Predictions.
what we might see
God,
happen
this
in
thing.
2024?
Oh, I have come down from upon high to give you my predictions of the future of
right.
2024, the long forgotten year of 2024.
Let's hear it. What do you have?
All right. Well, first things first, we got to go and do 2023's predictions to see if we were correct at all.
I was 100% correct, so...
I feel like I was very correct. Maybe, I don't know. So we do have to go through our fake predictions from last year, just because maybe there was a case where I was very correct in 2017, I think, with the Force Awakens movie. Do you recall? I will not stop bringing this up.
You're going to
Okay.
have to be more... Which one was that? I don't remember which one is which.
That was the first of the sequels.
Okay.
Yeah,
The one that I saw. Gotcha.
let me saw. So in that movie, I had predicted of the year that came out that we're going to get a scene where Mark Hamill shows up, but he doesn't say anything, and I was right. I was 100% right. So.
Well.
So we got to go through our fake predictions, just in case. So last year, I had said to solve world hunger, Jeff Bezos starts factory farming human meat. I don't think they've done that.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's not true, just that we might not know about it publicly.
There you go. YouTube, not to be outdone, buys itself for $400 billion, proceeds to fire everyone, implement terrible decisions via online polls, screams Vox Populi, and shits itself to death. I don't think YouTube has done that.
No.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I said that Hideki Kamiya will finally find the true meaning of Christmas and will unblock everyone on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he blocked even more people.
Did he? I think he actually unblocked a bunch of people because he left Platinum, right? So you're half right
Half
there, I
right.
think.
He Scrooged himself by by systematic proxy. Then I said to solve the housing crisis, Bill Gates creates a new charity that rounds up all the unhoused people and straps them together to form mansions for the rich. That hasn't happened yet. Well, maybe we'll get there. In order to stay fresh in the games industry, even more developers will make Souls-like. I was very correct on the Souls-like thing. There were like 4 prominent ones that came out this year.
People like Lies of P.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a new Lords of the Fallen, you know. Deciding that
you mean Lords of the Fallen?
Yeah.
The new one?
Yeah, exactly.
The follow-up to
Lords
Lords,
of
of the Fallen?
What a terrible fucking... It doesn't matter. Deciding that the customers haven't had enough, Hasbro creates a vacuum policy at Magic the Gathering and D&D players, forcing any TTRPG or TCG fan within 1 kilometer of game stores to instantly lose $150. I feel like I'm still correct in that one in some way.
Yeah.
Frustrated with Meta's lack of success, Mark Zuckerberg kidnaps a bunch of people, atomizes their brains into pure data, and shoves them into the meta. Then he can point out how many users they have and not be called a liar.
Nope, that one definitely didn't happen. The metaverse still a failure.
Still a failure? All right.
Oh, yeah.
It is revealed that DC Comics' Lazarus Planet event is just to cover up the real project, resurrecting the headless corpse of Walt Disney so that James Gunn can drive it in like a small mech and steal Marvel secrets.
Yeah, that kind of happened.
Yeah, maybe. Jared Leto is revealed to be a human-gecko hybrid.
Nope, he still just sucks.
Okay. To capitalize on FOMO, Square Enix offers a child soldier with every copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Kinda. I mean,
they're
the
doing...
CEO's already trying to
he's pretty shitty.
Pretty evil.
Yeah,
so.
pretty evil. He's doing a bunch of AI stuff, so yeah.
Yeah.
Then I said this: to solve climate change, Elon Musk installs the world's largest hyperrail and attaches 10,000 household tower fans per rail car to keep the world cool.
No, that would be a better use of his money than what he's actually been doing.
I think so. And then you said, I said that Joan Rivers was back and she's horny. You know how it is.
Accurate.
You also said you had your own fake predictions. They are going to have a large budget reboot of VIP. They haven't.
It's coming. Don't worry about it.
Google will revive Stadia. I don't think Google has revived anything ever.
No, I'm pretty sure that one happened. None of my predictions are ever wrong. So,
yeah, okay, that happened. All right, cool. Yeah. You then said that you will sob like a child over the Owl House ending. Yeah, I think you...
I'm a big boy who didn't cry at the end of a cartoon.
So you're saying that prediction didn't come true?
I maybe one tear rolled down my eye. You know, I'm a big boy. I wouldn't...
Okay.
I definitely wasn't multiple tears rolling down my face.
Oh, okay, fine. I guess that's one wrong then. Murder podcast. There's going to be a murder podcast where the hosts go and commit the murders themselves, which, I mean, jury's still out. Maybe that's happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, actually. Yeah. I'm sure it's happened.
Sure
just,
So someone is going to make a live-action cartoon only Tristan likes me, maybe like Boss Master or some other shit. That's what you said. So yeah. Then you said there was going to be you had a special prediction that for me specifically last year that they were going to make another Young Justice season just for me. I'm glad, sort of glad. It's a bittersweet thing to announce that show is essentially in such developmental hell. It is never coming back.
Well, we'll see about that.
I'm so sorry for the people.
Don't worry, your favorite show will be back.
Animate it and do all the voice acting.
Trust me,
I'm so sorry for the
online
job.
petitions happening any moment. They're going to announce.
You got a change.org happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm so sorry for anybody who had a job based off of Young Justice, but I am so glad this show doesn't exist anymore. Or at least future episodes won't.
We'll see.
We'll see. Let's see. Further predictions. Twitter goes under. We'll have to find other social media. It did not go under. I was wrong. I then said AMD comes out swinging
well,
GPU market.
Technically, Twitter doesn't exist anymore.
Ooh,
so...
it's true. Technically, it's called something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Sort of true.
Half right.
Sort of right. AMD comes out swinging the GPU market after everyone is dissatisfied with NVIDIA. That didn't happen, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I think AMD has a chance, but yeah.
They need to have better drivers still.
Yeah. Spotify gets bought out by Facebook. They didn't. Elon Musk's brain chips come out, and he does not get it like he said he would. He didn't even... The chips hadn't come out, I don't think, so... I have seen nothing about it.
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah. AI art goes the way of NFTs very soon. Unfortunately, I'm very wrong about that.
Yeah.
There's even more of it than there ever was. So... you then said Dark Horse Comics sold by Embracer Group or spun off into something else.
Got that one wrong. Instead, they just shut everything down.
Yeah, pretty much. They shut out.
Did not predict that just burning your house down would get you more money than selling it. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. Luckily, that Dark Horse Comics itself is still around with their.
Yeah.
Yeah. They canned a bunch of titles. It was terrible. Microsoft makes a bunch of moves against Sony in retaliation of them blocking their potential Activision purchase. Yeah. Yes. In the fact that they got the purchase.
Sure, yeah. Haven't done anything retaliatory that I can think of.
Yeah, true. I mean, getting it to actually work is the best retaliation, to be honest.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah. Netflix starts to make crisis-style decisions about their subscribers and shows, and make a bunch of bad decisions. Not quite. Yes,
yeah,
but not quite. Marvel/Disney will start bringing back dead characters. Not yet. We'll get there.
They have had those discussions, though. So.
Oh, yes, they have, yeah. There was the whole thing about Iron Man coming back. Like, paying Robert Downey Jr. again to slam it. Anime gets a satanic panic moment. I can't say that didn't happen. There's a good chance it has, actually. So
might have, yeah.
I said bring in the superhero burnout. Marvel no longer are the only ones to feel this burn as big budget superhero flicks start to fade. Ah, look, man. I'm right.
Yeah.
This year was a bad year for superhero films.
Yes.
Nobody watched them. I mean, they made money still, but like nobody, like not as much money as they did. Like they're all considered flops. Like every superhero film that came in this year has flopped. Even the ones that are good, like Blue Beetle. The Super Mario movie is going to destroy the worldwide box office records.
I think it did.
I'm pretty
actually.
sure
It's the highest grossing animated film ever. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. I think
it broke that.
Crashed, like it crushed some stuff. I then said that, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie comes out, and it is so good, it's going to force his son to call Mark Zuckerberg Daddy Zucky to his face at gunpoint.
I didn't even see it, and it did not get good reviews.
Yeah, but is Mark Zuckerberg Daddy Zucky to you?
No.
Oh, okay. You said Nintendo fails to do anything to build off the Mario movie. It will get a sequel, but no other Nintendo property gets their treatment. Yeah.
Well, apparently they're working on a Donkey Kong movie, and then they're doing a live-action Zelda movie, so, there's that.
Okay.
By the guy who's doing the newest Planet of the Apes movie.
Oh, no. That's not a good idea. You then said Craig at the Creek movie will win an Oscar?
Didn't come out, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's still in development.
Still pending.
For show predictions, I said Copenhagen Cowboy is going to be the Hotline Miami show we always wanted. It's pretty good. I just started watching it recently. It's up there. The Last of Us is going to be just a shitty cash grab. It apparently was not. I haven't watched The Last of Us show just yet, but apparently it's extremely good.
I haven't watched it either.
I mean, Pedro Pascal he wins the hearts and minds of everybody. Poker Face with Natasha Lyonne is going to be one of the best shows of this year. I haven't even watched it.
I know people like it. I don't think anybody put it as best shows of the year.
No, yeah. Velma will probably be jarring and bad. I was right. So right. That show sucks. Have you watched
Season 2, baby?
Yeah, Season 2. Because that's the decisions Warner Brothers making. Have you watched any of that show at all?
Oh, God, no.
It's wretched. Riverdale does not end this year despite Season 7 being billed as the last season. I'm pretty sure it actually did end so.
Did it come out?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it came out here or not. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then to Ted Lasso Season 3 is going to prove my reverse Berserk theory correct. It basically, I was right. In a way. Video game predictions. I said Forspoken will actually be cool past the first 2 hours where excessive talking happens. It's whatever. It's okay. It's an okay game.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
Yep. Atomic Heart is going to be great but have a rough launch. I was wrong. It had an easy launch and it was not very good. It's pretty also okay. Star Wars Jedi Survivor drops the Souls-like gameplay and focuses on just being a good action game. I haven't played it yet, so...
Nope, still Souls-like.
Okay,
yep.
That's fine.
A little more action-y, though, but still Souls.
Yeah, sure. Armored Core 6 gets a release date and gameplay trailer this year. It got more than that.
It came out.
Bethesda will have an Elder Scrolls 6 update. It did not. It will likely not be interesting. Yeah, it didn't. Then you said off the tepid reception of Gotham Knights DC decides to reboot the Arkham series, undoes Gotham Knights, and brings Batman back.
I haven't said anything about that yet,
Yeah,
so...
they haven't said shit, but they might. Gearbox announces their next game, and it's not Borderlands. It's going to be a Randy Pitchford original. Some weird dog game. I don't know.
Unfortunately, it sounds like I, for once, am wrong in that they're actually just going to do another Borderlands game.
Oh, that sucks.
Yay.
Who wants that?
I don't know.
Who asked for this?
For you, it's so boring.
Yeah. Well, whatever. So, 2024. Here it is. The year. Our predictions, Hassan. Let's do this. I have...
All right.
As we start every year, I have my fake predictions.
Let's hear one of them.
Let's hear it. All right. This year, the Game Awards. It's going to give up all pretense and just play ads for 1 hour straight. Awards are going to be given out in the back alley behind the venue. All losers are going to receive a pound of used coffee grounds, though. So,
Okay. Yeah, all right.
yeah. Tom Cruise. He's going to reboot himself so he can star in remakes of his old movies.
You're not... That barely sounds like a joke to me.
I mean, yeah. When I wrote that one, it was kind of like, that could be true. He's one of those weirdos that tries to, like, de-age himself, so... I'll point out he was 18 when he first started acting, so we would get new movies in, like, 2042, so... Yeah. Disney is done catering to things like an audience and starts only making movies and shows that money specifically would love.
Again, that barely sounds like a joke in a lot of ways.
But would money like this show?
If by money you mean boardroom executives, yeah.
I'm thinking like an ascension pile of cash, actually.
So boardroom executives.
More or less.
A Bobby Kotick, if you will.
Bobby Kotick. This year, we all learn our cars have been robots in disguise for the last 50 years. But they were just too polite to tell us.
Oh, boy. I've done some things in a car that,
Were you
that's awkward, then.
were you eating like a Whopper naked again?
Well, no Whopper, but nudity may have been involved, yeah.
Was it a Denny's? Were you at a Denny's? Where all
Yeah.
good choices are made?
No, just
No?
a rural road, you know.
Oh, hey. Driving butt naked in rural roads, pretending like you're a rally racer.
No, not driving.
I do not wish to elaborate. Todd Howard spends all of 2024 explaining to the wider internet how Starfield was a fucking masterpiece, and it is you who are wrong! Whores of Babylon, all of ye! Ye dare to call Starfield mid ever again, ye filth! Ye worms, a pox! Sorry. I don't know what came over me.
I mean, I don't know, game seems fine.
Yeah, it seems...
That's all I got.
It seems mid as possible. And finally, as we learned in 2023, E3 is dead. But in 2024, E3 is back, baby, and it's horny!
Oh, actually, if E3 came back, but it was just all R-rated, if E3 basically went back to its roots as basically a part of CES when it was held in the same building as I think they were just called like the Adult Video Awards or something.
Oh,
so you'd watch a bunch of CES footage, and then you just see like porn stars walking around in bikinis and stuff in the background.
That'd be very
funny. That'd be great. That would be the weird chaotic energy that I used to love out of E3.
Yeah, back in the early 2000s. Yeah, that was good.
2000s, 90s, yeah.
Yeah, those are the golden years of E3. The really strange years.
Yeah. The
years where it was kind of like worth tuning into. Yeah. Well, Hassan, do you have any predictions you want to share with us, at least of the fake variety?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
My first fake prediction is that From Software announced a Bloodborne sequel.
You laugh,
That-
but they will.
No, they won't. You people are delusional. You keep telling yourself it's going to happen. You know what? Second prediction: From Software announced a Bloodborne PC port.
No, stop.
Oh, it'll definitely happen, Tristan. These are totally real predictions.
No.
Things that'll surely happen.
No, stop.
It's only been a decade, but eventually it'll happen, right? My next prediction is that Disney announces a remake of the live-action Lion King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's already been like 4 years, so...
Yeah, I'm going to
time
remake
to
it.
Remake it, yeah.
Jesus Christ. What would they even do?
I mean,
go on.
just more CGI, make that film cost $500 million to make.
Milo would notice this one in this case.
Yeah.
Just use actual animals. Go on.
I predict that there's going to be I'm not sure if it's going to be like a sequel, a prequel, an offshoot. I'm not sure, but it's something set in the Steven universe, but it's called Steven Galaxy.
That would be kind of cool, but sad that's a fake one.
Yeah, well, because it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Who would possibly do it? But they should, because it's so stupid. It'd be great.
Yeah. That'd also be technically a lower end.
This one, I'm putting as a fake one since Silk Song, the sequel to Hollow Knight, does not come out this year.
Playing with fire, man. You're playing with fire. Not for me. I look. I have dropped any notion that game is even coming out in the slightest. But from everybody else, you're playing with fire.
If I make it as a fake prediction, it might come true.
That's true. I'm just saying you're playing with fire.
And then for my last prediction, my last fake one. Young Justice rises like a phoenix, and they
fuck.
announced 3 new seasons to it.
I hate you. Don't even write that.
3 more seasons, Tristan. Come on.
Rises like a phoenix. Fucking goddamn it.
I mean, there's all the unresolved storylines that who's the Dark Society or whatever. We still need to find out.
We know. It's just Dark Side or whatever.
They
have no
I
ideas.
thankfully blocked it all out, so I don't
zero
remember
ideas.
what's happening.
Zero ideas. God damn it. I feel bad for anybody who worked that show. What's even funnier is watching the people like on Reddit or whatever get really like into the show and go like, "No, it's so bad though. What are you talking about?" But they love it, so I don't know.
Don't worry, they're
Good for them, I guess.
sentient alien spaceship or whatever will turn things around and make that show good.
Maybe I can't remember what they called. I believe the new one's called. No, the old one was Mothership. The new ship is is just Baby. I think it's called.
Okay, all right.
So it went full on Other M. The Baby.
Sure.
All right, actual predictions time. Okay, general predictions. Want me to go first? Or you want to go first?
You go.
I'll go
Give us one of
All
yours.
right. We'll go back and forth. Okay. There we go. So, this year, Wizards of the Coast is going to release the new D&D 5.5 6th edition 1 D&D thing, whatever they want to call it. Doesn't matter. It does not go over well, first off. I don't think so anyway. And their new VTT is going to die in the vine because everyone who plays online already has their own method to do so anyway. Like, they have this whole new thing that apparently some people have tried it and it's like, oh, it's pretty cool. But everybody else already has their way of playing, so why would they ever change? you know?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, especially if they're releasing a new, whatever they call it, format of D&D. Those things never
Edition,
go
yeah.
over well initially.
No, edition changes never work, initially anyway. Like, it 5th edition was well received because it was kind of like back to the old style of D&D, quote unquote. But then as the game marinated for years, we realized, oh, actually, it's definitely not anywhere near an older style of D&D. This is like massively more power gaming than the last edition. Ooh. Anyway.
Alrighty, well, I'll give my first prediction, which is, I think Twitch will find itself either in direct legal hot water, so something like a lawsuit or some sort of public investigation, or it's going to find itself under legal pressure, that being sort of government agency putting pressure on it. I think for how big Twitch is, for how much influence the people streaming on it have over especially young kids, and how poorly regulated as sort of a industry, if you want to call it that, sort of live streaming and broadcasting is, and this extends even further than Twitch into YouTube, into TikTok, Instagram, all that. But I think Twitch is one of the worst
Bad offender, I agree.
offenders. Yeah, like there was the stuff with the hot tub streams where
Oh, yeah.
I always looked at that and went, you are one 16-year-old having a nipple slip away from it being like, well, you just publicly broadcasted underage nudity.
Yep.
Government sucking like that. They had the recent
I mean, like...
weirdity around, like, artistic nudity, which I'm not opposed to. I want to be clear. If Twitch wants to get into allowing nudity, I have no problems with that.
No issue at all, no.
But they need to have very good parental controls.
Yeah, I agree.
Moderating restrictions. Like, it's even things like, Twitch can flag certain things as like kid friendly, but hey, what happens if one of those Twitch streamers says fuck? Like, are they going to get in any trouble? Do they? And the answers are basically no. They might get, a warning, possibly a like
strike or something like
small ban or strike or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's nothing compared to like, you imagine, hey, if Blue's Clues ever said fuck, that show's just canceled. The company making it, the TV station broadcasting it, they all in massive legal hot water. But Twitch just doesn't have that. And I think it's just long overdue for government agencies to start looking into it and going, hey, time to...
Yeah, I mean, you're right, though, because, like, the whole, like... I mean, here's the thing. Nipple slips happen. There's like a good handful of stories out there, just, like, from, like, this year and last year, about this just kind of happening to women. And it's just like, sometimes you're in a rush to get back to stream from using the washroom or whatever, and like shit happens.
People, even just beyond the things people say, the games that they play, it is not controlled and moderated enough to be like, hey, if you're going to do this, you need to have better guardrails so that, this kid is under 13. They can't watch these things. I know the rules technically say you have to be 14 to use it, but they know that's not true.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that same lane, I made a slightly different prediction in that Twitch is going to make a new platform called Twitch Noir that caters to all the adult content they want.
I'd be okay with that. That's the right way to do that.
Twitch Noir.
I don't think they'll do that, because if they did that, kids then wouldn't, you can't tell your parents you want to watch Twitch Noir, but your parents don't mind you watching Twitch, so then when you ask for them to buy you bits or whatever so you can give it to some scantily clad streamer because you're 12 and you're not allowed porn.
Yep.
And Twitch knows this.
Yeah,
Twitch.
I gotta pay Asmongold to take his pants off.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Or whatever.
you know,
I don't know. I just
that's
chose
who you're into.
I
I'm
just
not
chose
judging.
a random Twitch streamer.
Yeah, random. Sure. Uh-huh.
Yeah. What's your next one?
I'm trying to find it here. How did I word it? Because I know I had one. I'm just gonna go with what I'm trying to think of now a better name than just online streamers, but your Netflix, your Disney Plus,
okay.
your Paramounts, whatever.
Streaming platforms.
There was some news around. I think it was Disney and Paramount wanted to like bundle their subscriptions, but I think we are going to see somebody just straight up bring back like online cable of like sign up for. God only knows it's going to have some stupid name like Liver, spelled Liver.
Oh, no, yeah.
If you pay us $65 a month, you get access to all of these subscription services and their content, but all through one subscription. You know, it's just going to be like that. It's like, oh, so it's just cable. Great.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So, funny you should mention that, because here's the thing. My next prediction is that pile on the streamer ads. More ads will begin playing, even for paying customers on YouTube, Netflix, Max, Disney Plus, etc. iTunes kind of does this for their own shows at the beginning of your streaming day, but then like once you've kind of like got through like the 2 previews or whatever, the rest of it's fine. Update on this though, because I'm already correct. Because I wrote this yesterday. Today I got an email from Amazon Prime, and they are already doing this. At the end of the month.
Yeah. Hey, it turns out that that streaming services don't make as much money as cable companies did. Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, when the original offer is $10 a month, and they keep jacking the price, and they don't make anything interesting, and yeah, well, yeah, I kind of get it. But yeah, that's my streaming service prediction. What's your next one for general predictions?
Okay, so for general, I am going to predict that 2024 is the year where the isekai train finally starts to break down and audiences finally start to tire of it. So, you know, just the overall reception, the way people talk about it, they'll finally start to be like, yeah, I don't really care about this show. It's another isekai.
But Hassan, Musoko Tensei is so good, according to everybody who I watch online. I've attempted to watch this show because like, oh, it's an isekai, but it's a really good one, you guys. And no.
That's
I get
every
it,
second
no.
anime people talk about.
Yeah, it is. For context, Musoko Tensei is basically an isekai where a 30-year-old like loner is killed in you know, just dies of natural causes, and is isekai into the boy of a young boy body in the fantasy world. But he was a creeper and brings that creepier aspects forward. But apparently the show is more about him learning to not do that and be a better person. But he still does it. So, like...
Hey, Tristan, what's your next prediction?
Anime dies. No kidding. I think Hasbro is going to recoup some of their 2023 losses because they lost big this year.
Okay.
But 2025, I think we're going to get Scuttlebutt this year, but a 2025 buyout of them. Hasbro's big, I know.
Ooh.
But, like, they ain't doing good. Their stocks
No.
are bad. I almost bought stock in them. It was that low.
I mean, it's that thing of they're not doing that bad, other than if you're Wall Street and then they're doing that bad.
Yeah.
But you actually look at the numbers, you're like, hey, if you didn't pay your CEOs so much, you'd have had a really good year.
Their CEOs are paid really well. Extremely well. They shouldn't be paid that well. Their business is failing. Failing. You know what that, like, to me, if you're doing bad at your job, you should not get a $9 million bonus, Chris Cox.
That's the fault of the frontline workers.
Yeah, all the frontliners. That's the case. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Do you have any more general predictions? Because that was my last one.
I don't know what we're qualifying as general, but I have 2024. We'll see even more isekai.
Fuck off.
I simultaneously think it's going to be the year where the isekai train breaks, and people get tired of it, but that stuff lags by years, and it's just the most isekais per season ever.
Well, I guess Jeff Thu will be happy once he the like fucking trash anime of each season.
It's basically the train engine might have been broken, but it's got so much momentum, it's not slowing down for a while.
Yeah, fair enough. So we also have movie predictions, TV and animation predictions, and video game predictions. I think I can toss those into the animation predictions. Why not?
Sure.
Why not? Just to make it more succinct. I like succinctness. Yes. So let's go on with let's keep the animation predictions rolling here. What do you got? Any more besides just the isekai train being derailed and also steaming on full force?
I have one sort of animation related one. I think 2024 is the year someone finally tries to do something Naruto live action. I don't know if that means movie, if they try and do a TV show, but just anime is more popular than ever. Boruto is somehow popular. Naruto has a lot of nostalgia. The stars just seem to align that someone will try and do Naruto live action.
Yeah, I feel as if that's probably true. Also, I feel the fact that, like, because we saw them do live action One Piece and that was good, I think that opens the door for a live action Naruto, which is actually somehow a little more grounded than One Piece.
Yeah, it's also a lot worse over time.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I don't know if you've seen what's happening in Boruto, but
I don't care about Boruto. As far as I know,
he's fighting raptors from another dimension. I'm not even joking either. That's a serious plot point.
How did this guy make, like, okay? How did
it's not the same guy.
Oh, it's not?
He's
he ditched? Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah,
he's walked off. He's
Good
let
call.
somebody else do all this stuff. He's like, I don't care.
Okay, here's the property.
Yeah,
baby money. I'm out. That's fair, actually, because, like, I think that Naruto, now that it's problems, I think it's one of the better shonen series I've ever read and watched in my life. But, like, Boruto just does not have it at all.
Terrible.
Anyway, so my TV animation predictions, mine are a little more TV based. HBO Max starts regretting certain choices as it begins to kind of like bleed subscriptions, and I think we're seeing a lot of that bleed happen in 2023 as well. Yep. Likewise, though, studios see The Last of Us as success, and this opens the door to make video game TV shows.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, there's that. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. Horizon
Zero Dawn.
I can't. Zero Dawn. That's it. Yeah. Terrible name. Yeah, that's supposed to be getting a TV show, which
I can see that.
I don't know how that works, but
I don't know either. But yeah, I can see it. Remedy is going to be angry that this is the case because they already kind of shoved TV into their games.
I'm going to be honest. I don't want Remedy TV shows or movies because they already use actors, but those actors couldn't do the the Thing,
Yeah.
and so it'd be weird.
The thing is, though, that Remedy has such a beautiful symbiosis of what they do between TV and video games that I don't think it can work in any other format.
I think you could make it work.
Maybe,
it's just
okay, maybe, but yeah.
you're not, like, just knowing that half the people that you know from the game can't be the same character
This
in
is
live
true,
action
yeah,
is just
yeah.
going to be weird.
Yeah, I mean, the guy who plays Alan Wake in the game as the voice is different from the guy who acts his face. So
Yeah, it'd be weird.
it's weird. But in that same vein, I think this year we'll get an announcement that we're getting a Dark Souls TV series.
Tristan, there's no story to those games.
Well, you say that, but they did make comics based off them. Somehow they inserted story. So
Are they okay? Are you sure that
Yeah.
the comics just aren't somebody taking screenshots of people's like 2-hour videos where they explain to you how the text off of this item relates to this one line of dialogue from this person, and then if you match it up against the writing on this one wall, it tells this story. Are you sure the comic wasn't just screenshots from that with the transcription?
no,
below
it was drawn and everything. It was written by people.
All right, if you say so.
The Bloodborne comics are also pretty successful. So they're only
what?
Bloodborne.
Never heard of it.
Oh, okay. Moving on to... Well, do you have any more animation or TV predictions?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Movies it is, then.
Yep.
What do you got for movies, Hassan? Give me one.
So I have that. I think Disney is going to end up basically slamming the brakes on the MCU and realizing, hey, our current 10-year plan is not going to work and we have to completely reshuffle things. And I don't think it's going to go well for them because they now have the problem that comics do, which is just over time they get so convoluted and you kind of just end up having to retell the same stories over and over.
Yeah, that's true. It's an unfortunate aspect.
I would not be surprised if we saw a new Iron Man, though I don't think they'll actually bring back Robert Downey Jr. for it.
I don't think so either.
I mostly say that because he's too old.
Yeah,
He's almost, I believe he's almost 60.
He's like 57,
They're not-
58 now.
They're not going to sign
No.
people in major roles for one movie. If you're coming back, you're doing sort of at least 2 or 3 mainline movies.
Yeah.
Several cameos, Avengers style, come together movies.
Yeah.
It's just, does anyone want to see a 10-year from now Robert Downey Jr. still trying to be Iron Man?
No.
That just sounds terrible.
I think an old Tony Stark who's kind of like retired or whatever is fine. Like, bring it back as a cameo or whatever. But like, you kind of need a
what was it called? Logan? That was just the name
Logan,
of that film.
yeah,
where
exactly.
it was, an older Logan and older
Yeah.
Charles Xavier. That was interesting.
that was awesome. Yeah.
That would not be good if you tried to make 2 or 3 of those.
No, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. For me, speaking of weird, well, not weird. Speaking of like movie universe stuff, I think James Wan is going to try and mash up all of his horror movies into one universe. Talking about
that would-
symbiosis.
Okay, that would be
Considering
something.
he keeps making the same damn movie. Son.
Hey, he made a Fast and Furious.
He made a Fast and the Furious, yes, true. But all of his horror movies are essentially the same flick. Even the latest one, Night Swim, looking at just the trailers for it, is like, oh yeah, this is basically the exact same as The Conjuring, exact same as Insidious, The Nun, Annabelle, etc. But this one's about a pool. A pool that kills you. A ghost that is in the pool that kills you.
No, there's already... God damn it, what was it called? It's like Killer Hot Tub or something. That already exists.
Yeah, exactly, there is. But this is about a pool in a James Wan-style movie that kills you. Where there's a ghost that died in the pool, probably, and it kills you, and the water gets black because that's spooky. So, yeah. What's your next movie prediction?
So I'm going to predict that A24, the sort of indie film, even though they're getting big enough that they're not
big, yeah.
really indie. I think that they are going to have a couple of, I don't want to say bombs, but as they have been, increasing the level that their films are kind of operating at, and not just budget, but they're bringing in big name actors, et cetera, et cetera. I think a couple of those are not going to hit the numbers that they want and need, and that I don't know if they'll go under per se, but I definitely think it's going to be a like, hey, it turns out like indie sort of these style of films can only actually get so big other than the 2 or 3 sort of breakthroughs in the year.
Yeah.
And I think that they are headed towards financial difficulties, we'll say.
I can see that, actually. I can definitely see that. Financial difficulties ahead. Yeah, honestly, like, Everything Everywhere All at Once was a big revolutionary film at the time. But I can see them trying to hit those strides again and not doing as well.
Yeah, like that Civil War film they have coming out. It looks good, but it looks like it's probably got a pretty big budget, and that if it doesn't do well, it's like, this is gonna be costly.
Yeah, agreed. I'm saying that this year, so we're gonna see a higher focus on animated movies this year, because some of the bigger ones of the year have been, Across the Spider-Verse, which got a giant fan following, the new TMNT movie. But that's it. Even though Pixar is kind of doing worse than ever, that's not necessarily their fault. But like it's more so. I think we're going to see a lot more animated stuff that's like focused on looking like animation.
Oh, you mean we're finally going to get out of the like goddamn annoying Disney / DreamWorks?
Yeah.
Almost plasticine look to every single character. And you're like, man, I like some of these films, but can we please get some new art styles?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Honestly, like the way Disney and DreamWorks have looked for like the longest time, that was fine back in the day. But like, it's time to move on. First off,
I mean, I'll say like the Mario Brothers movie, even though it's Illumination, it looks different enough from what Pixar and Disney have been doing that even if stuff just slightly shifted in that way, I'd be so much happier.
Yeah, sure. Now, with that all said, I also think that this year is going to see the announcement of a mostly AI-generated movie from Big Studio. Like, 90% of it's done in AI.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, because
I could see that.
I can see them exploiting a loophole to be like, even though people just picketed to have this not happen, that was them working on AI movies that didn't have AI in it in this sort of case. But if we do it mostly in AI, where it's like 90+%, that's a whole different thing. It's a different product. Not a movie anymore. We'll call it something else. AI-generated feature film.
Ugh.
Yeah. Do you have any more movie predictions?
Nope, I'm all out of movies.
I got one more. So, this year, Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire, is going to be so good, Hassan. So good. It eats you up They need to sum it up like it was a weird billionaire drinking baby blood.
It sucks. We already know it sucks. The trailer is awful.
But it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be like drinking baby blood.
No.
Oh.
No, I saw those last two legendary Kong film or Godzilla films. They're not good.
But this is the one that redeems them all.
Nope, definitely not.
Are you sure?
100% certain.
I don't know, man. This might be the one. Just saying. Well, let's move on to video game predictions. What do you got?
Okay, I've got a light one that I'm just gonna throw out, which is I think we're gonna see a Pokemon like rhythm style game. There's been a good number of those the last couple of years of rhythm games based off of
Why has
ongoing ones.
Why has there not been a Pokemon rhythm game yet?
So I know part of it has to do with the Pokemon company does not like to put out Pokemon music in a way that would then allow people to get cover licenses for it.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough, yes.
So it's like weird, but they've started to lighten up on some of those rules, which is why I think we could finally see one.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Because I mean, like, I thought you were just saying you're gonna see like the Pokemon company doesn't want to give this music out because they didn't want to see anybody be happy for once. Yeah, it's such a weird thing that they have not made one yet, and I guess that explains it. But
it's a very Japanese thing. And
yeah,
in a lot of ways, they are a very Japanese company in the worst ways.
Yeah, that's true.
But what's one of your video game predictions?
All right, so this year in 2024, after Dredge and Hi-Fi Rush's like success this year, I think we're going to see a lot more genre mashup games. Just because, like, I think these are like not to say that these didn't exist in the past, but I think that a lot of people were kind of scared of maybe jumping into things that are going to be too different. Like, I know there's an RPG where I think you play as a frog or like a stoat or something like that, but the whole thing is actually Peggle. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like, yeah,
that sounds all right.
That sounds all right. It came out last year, but like that didn't do super well. But you get Dredge and Hi-Fi Rush, and Dredge is a mashup of like a bunch of different things, and Hi-Fi Rush is rhythm meets Devil May Cry. I think it's kind of time to like see more of that stuff. I think more people are going to try and experiment with video games this year. That's definitely going to come mostly from the indie space, but yeah. They're the ones for it. Any more video game predictions from you?
Yeah, so I got two more.
Cool.
Next one I'm going to go with is I think 2024 is the year that we see Sony lose. Or not, I shouldn't say like lose its lead. I think its lead slows down. So I think if you look back at 2023, it wasn't a bad year for Sony, but it also wasn't a good year. They had PSVR 2, which
sure.
Jury is still, I think, out how.
Yeah, I can't remember
if that was, like an absolute disaster or failure financially or anything, but it definitely was not a success.
I know in 2023,
it clearly has not.
I know in 2023 a VR studio shut down because it just there's no interest in VR, it seems, anymore.
Yeah, so. and just PSVR 2, it clearly it did not take off. They released like the PlayStation Portal, and that seems fine, but it kind of seemed like a bit of a misstep overall. They didn't really put out that many first-party games. That hasn't really mattered because they had Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I think that was the only big first-party game. I can't really think of anything else that came out in 2023.
I think that's it. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Like, they had some exclusives, Final Fantasy 16, etc. So it wasn't a bad year for game. It's, third parties, etc., etc. Baldur's Gate 3 was a console exclusive until last week, I think, when it came on Xbox.
Yeah, that's right.
But I think that with how long game development is taking, and just Sony doesn't really seem to be as clear on what the future of gaming is going to be, other than just, we're just going to keep making PlayStations and these, single player games, which is fine. But I think compared to a Nintendo or Microsoft, who seem to have a very clear vision of who they are and what the future is, it seems like it's the year that Sony's lead starts to slow down and they struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I know what you're talking about, and I think that could be the case.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't know of any major Sony first party game announced for 2024.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either, to be honest. I didn't see anything about I don't know, a Crash or a Last of Us or even a new one.
I mean, they just canceled that Last of Us multiplayer game.
Yeah, that's right. They canceled the Last of Us multiplayer game. That's right. Though with that said, Naughty Dogs did cancel that because
also Crash is now Microsoft, because that is Activision.
Really? But it's a Naughty Dog. Really? I guess they published it, didn't
Naughty
they?
Dog made it, but Activision published it.
Oh, that
Activision
sucks.
has owned it. Yeah.
That sucks. That really sucks.
It's a weird one.
Okay, well, at least they have Ratchet and Clank, which is the better mascot anyway, so...
According to that leaked roadmap, that game won't be out for years yet.
No, I mean, that's fine, because they did that Ratchet and Clank back in 2021 or whatever it was, so at least there's something there, but still, yeah.
I believe it was 2020, because it was a launch title, so 4 years ago.
God, how is the PS5...
Really 3 years ago, but...
How is the PS5 already 4 fucking years old? Time is a weird
really
soup.
Only 3 years, because it came out in November.
Well,
but
yeah, it's true.
I think, I'm not trying to pick sides or anything. I think it's the year you look at how Sony's 2023 went and just what it seems like they have lined up in 2024. And unless they have some big surprises, I just think that momentum starts to slow down.
Yeah. Well, you heard it here first, everybody. The console wars will be won by Microsoft. Son said so.
It's Nintendo who's winning.
It's true, actually, yes.
By a wide margin.
Yeah. My next prediction. So, I don't think Starfield is going to recuperate from the mostly negatives they've got on Steam and the bad press that one game dev and that one YouTuber garnered them. Really, really bad press. I think in this case, though, we're going to get an update on Elder Scrolls 6 this year because, the business side of it is going to hey, people seem to be really kind of dunking on our game. We either, play it off as, haha, we get it, and move on, or we kind of shoot back a little bit with something interesting to take their minds off that. And the business side usually will try and take your minds off of the thing that you're dunking on by introducing an exciting product, which is going to be Elder Scrolls 6, of course. So I think we're going to get some Elder Scrolls 6 stuff this year. Probably just maybe some gameplay, probably not, but a bullshot trailer for sure. And yeah, I think it's just so we can kind of for them to try and force us to forget that Starfield was mediocre.
I think for me it's good. It's I've never been a big Bethesda person, but I think mods are going to be the thing that will determine the legacy of that game, right? If mod support can reinvigorate it, it could have a cyberpunk turnaround. If they don't, then I think it mostly gets forgotten.
So I've been looking into this and so there was that story, but one of the big modders who made Skyrim together is we're not going to work on Starfield together anymore because this game just sucks. Why would we ever want people to play this boring game together? It's ooh, that's rough. But like with Cyberpunk, that game, even though it needed mod support and had a turnaround because the thing is people believed in that game because despite the fact that it was so buggy and crappy at launch, like it had good bones, so they were able to kind of like take those bones and rework them and make it so the game was a lot more interesting. But the thing is, from everything I've heard about Starfield, is that like even just straight down to there's no good quest structure. The characters seem bland. Like the world's too empty. Like despite the fact that even considering the fact that like they are empty planets and that's just real and that yes we all agree on that. But you gotta put something there. Stuff like that. Like there's a lot of like just. I've been looking into Starfield a lot. I have not played it at all, but because it just seems like not my thing. But everything I've read and watched about it just kind of makes it seem like it's not really anybody's cup of tea.
There are definitely people who like that game.
I'm sure there are, yeah. But yeah, just like again, it's currently sitting on Steam at the time of this recording, with a mostly negative review. So who knows? Maybe we'll see them fire back with some like Skyrim stuff. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Do you have any more predictions?
Yeah, so should probably start wrapping up. So this will be my last prediction, which bit of a downer for me to end it on, but in particular, can kind of point to the recent Insomniac leak hack,
Right,
where it talked about some of their budgets and the cost of it, and even outside of that, we've been hearing. Sean Layden, who used to be head of PlayStation, he was talking about years ago now, because it would have been not that long after he left and Jim Ryan took over, so it would have been 3 or 4 years ago now. He was talking about, game budgets are starting to get to be like $200 million plus. And we're just starting to, hear and see those rumblings of like AAA gaming is getting too expensive to make, and I think 2024 we potentially see somewhat of a not collapse, but at least a reckoning on that, where these budgets are getting absolutely out of hand. Games that cost, if you think about, well, okay, the average cost of a game to a consumer is, $70 US.
Yeah.
Even if a game sells 10 million copies, sure, that's $700 million. But if your budget is $350 million, all these other expenses, it's like that. You
made no money.
That's you're not making a lot of money, even though it seems like it should. But also, it means that if you have a misfire, instead of selling 10 million, you're only selling 2 to 3. That becomes such an expensive loss that even some of these major companies cannot afford many of those before they are just gone. And I think we're going to have to see a reckoning on that, and just games become less expensive to make. I mean, it's sort of why we're seeing a lot of what's happening at Embracer is like, hey, you can't make a game for like, or you can't make a AAA game for 60 million anymore.
No, yeah.
And it's making it unviable as an industry, and that something is going to have to happen and change these things. That's my last prediction. What are your last prediction?
All right, I got 2. I'm just going to finish this up. Visa Group, etc. So, my last 2. So I think, kind of along those lines, actually. I'm glad you mentioned that. Because I think the things that get a lot of the big press these days, a lot of eyes on these games, are typically, and then I know it's kind of like, not the future that a lot of people want to see, but the very like memeable multiplayer horror games, people have a lot of eyes on those. People love those, even if they are kind of crappy. But there's a lot of like heart put in those games. So I think this year the big studios are going to try their hands at the memeable multiplayer horror games. Your Phasmophobias, Among Us, Lethal Company, etc. I don't think they're going to be very good at it. So yeah,
I can't imagine it would be.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and I think because this seems like an easy road to money, easy road to a lot of like good press and that kind of stuff. But I think what's going to happen is that these are going to AAA themselves into not being likable in the slightest.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's your last one?
Final prediction of the year. I think that Hello Games has learned their lesson, and Light No Fire will not be full of lies. It has to be that. Because No Man's Sky... Look, here's the thing. They have such a bad reputation for that specific thing, but a great reputation on fixing the lies and making a game that everybody wanted.
You know what? I'll say I think you're right that I don't think there will be lies.
Yes.
Because that I think No Man's Sky had two problems. So one is there were definite lies. You go back and you watch those trailers, you're like, that game does not look like that. It does not have that level of variety to it, etc.
Yeah.
I actually think that's a smaller issue, where the bigger issue is just if you go back, you actually listen to a lot of how they were talking about it and the things they were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you take it just sort of at face value, exactly as they intended it,
yep,
the game they delivered was that thing. But I think people, when they hear things about so we're going to, be procedurally generating these planets. And I think when people hear that, their brains were going like, oh, that means these planets could have anything on it and be any kind of planet. And it's like, well, no, if you take it at face value of what they mean, it's okay, we're creating these 50 different asset things. It can be a combination of those 50, but it can't create a 51st. It's procedural, but it is not generative.
Yeah.
So I still think there'll be a little bit of that problem, that they will say
maybe
things
a little bit,
be like, oh my God, that means this.
I think you're right on that one. The one they did promise, the big one that they promised for No Man's Sky, was that it will have multiplayer. You get to kind of meet your friends in the game, that kind of stuff, and that never happened. That was not until they redid the game and put the multiplayer in there. But on launch, that was a lie, because you could go to the same planet in the exact same location where your friend is, and they are not there, and it's like, well, what happened? But yeah, then they fixed that where you can fly around with your friend and have fun and that kind of stuff. So yeah, they eventually made good on that promise. That was the one big lie that I want to point at. They definitely didn't do. That was not the fault of the audience, because I think you're right. There's a fervorness sometimes with video games. There's a hype train people get onto, and the imagination goes crazy and go like, oh, but that means you can do this, and the trailer kind of sort of lines up with your preconceived notions towards it, and you go like, oh shit, I'm right, it's going to be this, and then it's actually something else entirely. That does happen, sadly enough. So I think that we might get something like that again. I think you're right, but as far as lies go, what, I can't remember the guy's name.
Sean Murray.
Sean Murray. His whole thing, I'm pretty sure they're going to rein him in. I know he still works at Hello Games. He's probably still going to be the guy announcing things.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's I think president. He's co-founder or something.
Yeah, something like that. So, I'm pretty sure we're still going to get that guy on stage. That's totally fine. They're going to have to rein him in. And they're going to have somebody with him at all times to be like, okay, what he just said was wrong. Here's this. Or yeah, Sean, that's exactly it. And it's going to be this way. The more...
Yeah. Turns out, hey, sometimes you do need a PR person there.
Yep. Not everybody's Randy Pitchford.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Well, on that note, why don't you tell people where to find us? Except Randy. Don't tell Randy Pitchford where to find us, for the love of God.
Randy, you can find me anywhere you want to.
Oh, no. No.
We're going to hang out.
Stay away from him.
We're going to drink Jaeger bombs for like a day straight. And then we're just going to like watch the moon a little bit, man.
No, he'll try and make you see his magic tricks and look at the videos on his thumbstick.
Yeah, let me see the videos on your thumbstick, Randy.
Yes. Oh, tell people the regular people where to find us.
All right, for those regular people out there, you can go to our Twitter page, which is at AIFNAR. While Twitter at least still exists, who knows? Maybe we'll die this year. Yeah, go there and give us some of your fun predictions for this year. Because I'm sure you got a lot. I'm sure people, have their own things they want to point out. They're like, oh, I think that this is going to be a cool thing, or this crazy shit's going to happen. It might. You never know. Definitely go to our iTunes, Spotify places for the audio version of the show. YouTube, which is where you're watching this video right now. Do the like, subscribe thingy. Ring the bell if you want to. I don't know what that does. Maybe you just have fun ringing bells. If you're that kind of person like I am, go ahead and ring the bell. I'm a simple man. Maybe you're a simple person as well. Just do it.
Sure, yeah.
You can also just share our show with your friends. I would appreciate that. If you do not share the show with your friends, for every hour that you do not do that, we are going to poison 1 glass of water across the world.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know we were going to do that. Is it too late to halt that plan?
No. Well, yeah. It's not.
Oh, thank God.
It's not too late. It's a little late.
Okay, that's a crime?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. Keep
Yeah.
doing it then.
Okay. Full disclosure, I gotta take care of David Zaslav.
What? Sorry, the head of Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
What? I mean, that's a weird thing to just say.
Yeah. I look. Here's the thing. I can't say who it was, but somebody from the future arrived here, and I was like, well, there actually, in where you're at, while I was reading really weird, porny Ziggy comics, and you, not you, but you were gone, but future version of person that I saw was like, you gotta take care of David Zaslav. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, bump him off. And I was like, I want to just do naked Turkish mug wrestling. And they're like, you can't do that. That's not going to be good enough.
Can you hear yourself? Do you know how crazy that sounds?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great. Well, just continue with the ending then.
Yeah, I want to get back to my porny Ziggy comics, so yeah, I agree. Yeah. Anyway, go to our friends. It was DJDane.com. That's does our music. DJDane.com. Listen to his great tunes. I don't know, just maybe hang out with them. Don't poison his water. That kind of thing.
Yeah, don't think he likes poison water. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Most people don't, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, no, I'd say that's accurate.
Cool. Anyway, that's it for our show. Tune in next time for another Echinoids episode of Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Hey.